Boy, you at it peeping this shit. Go ahead to youtube.com/WaterwayTV and subscribe to that shit. Yeah, you know the waves in it. Baseball when hitting a home run, hit it with the coldest rains. And even on my bad days, I'm a clutch to finish. The track diminished, the booth burnt, hands is itching. Damn.
Seem to have pretty good success on social media. I mean, you're almost at 60,000 followers on Instagram. What have you done to kind of like branch yourself out to be able to, gain a following on there and be able to go on a tour to be able to promote, what tactics have you used in the past? Like maybe some advice for some people looking to grow themselves.
So the first thing I would say is I have pretty much used every single social media platform there is out there. I've expanded myself on TikTok to 77,000 followers. I've had, some viral videos go off on there. I've also, incorporated a ton of different engagement groups and things on Snapchat to just always have something structured there for myself. I've built email lists from different media pages that I built organically, but the Lebo page has also been boosted artificially to also increase the rate that we're growing. So the following is legit, and what we do is very real, but we also artificially boost things to make it happen even faster. Because you have to be perceived as what it is you need to be, so that way you can move more efficiently. So that's what we've done, and it's been working.
Okay. When you say artificially, like to where like explain that to me exactly. I guess I don't know what you mean exactly.
I would say artificially in a way where we've enhanced the following, so that way the people that are watching feel like they're a part of something bigger. Not that they aren't a part of anything bigger, but people are very, it's very psychological. So you need to play the game so that way you can continue to move. So we understand that, the labels and everything can shift numbers so that way they are more liked. But at the same time, we know what we have is very valuable and people enjoy it. So we had to do what we had to do. And I'm a very honest and transparent person. So I don't mind sharing this, because this is the same things that we talk about behind the scenes. Yeah. And this is what helps us move the way we move. And yeah, that's what we've done.
Yeah. I've noticed that, like, I guess if people don't notice it, if you don't really pay attention to the music scene that much, but as soon as these artists get signed to these label deals, like a lot of their like views, likes, followers are very oversaturated, very artificial. Like, because if someone can do 20,000 views on their own, and if this but let's say you put 10,000 artificial ones on there, no one's gonna necessarily think like, oh, this it's 30,000 fake views. Or if you're thinking even at a super high scale of someone like I see it a lot. I seen it with like, I think it was like Smoke Perp's Instagram page. Like he posted a video, and within 10 minutes it had 100,000 likes. And then I come back 24 hours later and it has like 102,000 likes. I'm like, so it's like something's artificial there. Or or they'll drop a music video and within the first 2 hours it'll have 500K, and then at the end of the 3-month span it's at like 720K. So it's like a lot of people don't realize it, but like, because when you have a following of things, right? Like when a million people are watching your thing, adding a make-believe million on top of it isn't going to necessarily make the real million go away, but it might make another 10,000-20,000 come in. Exactly. So it's a very business side of things. And I've always, like, I guess my opinion on like the artificial like numbers and whatnot is like, it's definitely a way of growing a brand as long as you can back up the numbers. There's people that make very trash music and whatnot, or very trash clothes, and they'll have 100,000 followers, 2 million views, and you can tell they're fake. But like, if their music is good enough to get that many views, or their clothes are good enough to get that many follows or likes, and it'll back it up, and people will it'll build its credibility. Exactly. It's like a very like thin line of doing it and it working, and doing it and it not working.
Yeah, and one thing that we've seen too is like, like we'll book artists, like book headlining artists or something like that. Oh, man. And they got the craziest following or whatever, but then when the shows come, like no tickets were sold except for the stuff that we've all pushed already. Things like that, things like that do happen. And sometimes that could mess up the game, but you gotta actually have people who really support you for what you do. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing about like Eternal too, is like we have so many groups of people in so many different cities that we want to see win, and they want to see us win too. So it's just been growing like exponentially every single time that we do a show or we go to a new state and do our thing.
Yeah, and to touch on that is when he was saying, we've booked artists in the past. We've booked Thousand Band Fani. We've booked Warhol SS. We've booked Blueface right before the blow up. We've booked, Unghetto Matthew. We've booked Warhol SS. We've booked artists that are nationally known, credible artists. And we feel, these artists do bring out a crowd. But at the end of the day, when you're bringing an artist to a new market, it's not like every person is going to know who these people are. They're going to need that comfortability and like we talked about earlier, that relevance to kick in. So we understand now it's like, okay, we have ourselves established to the point where to the typical person that's not engaged in this, which is the masses of people, we're going to look appealing. Now it's just a matter of bringing quality production, quality artists to the stage, and it's going to work. Yeah. And that's what's happened.
Yeah. And then, like, at the end of the day, like, if someone is like really wants to book you for something and they want to know everything they're getting out of it besides what they can see on the surface, like, you can offer them your analytics and whatnot too. So it's like that's like a thing I think about too is like, if an artist has 1 million followers but maybe they blew up 4 years ago, what are their story views looking like now? What are their page engagements looking like now? And a lot of people maybe have like I'd say like artificial growth is the same as blowing up really fast and then nobody caring anymore. That those might as well be a fake 1 million followers, for like a lot of artists that blew up in the past and are just not doing shit right now. Like, it's basically the same thing. Like, they might as well be robots at that point.
And that's what I feel like, since we've done so many tours and concerts and stuff, it's like, and then getting behind the scenes and seeing how things are ran, it's like, those are the questions that we just start asking now. You know what I mean? We might see the numbers, but like, what have you done in your last 4 shows that you've done? Yeah. And what's your analytics? Like, where on Spotify, where are people listening to you?
What am I paying for, really?
Exactly. So then it's been like a big learning experience through like this whole thing, just learning the business side of everything too.
Yeah. We understand that everyone has 2 perspectives on it. Our goal isn't to be liked by everybody. Our goal is to connect and touch as many people as we can in a short amount of period, and have long-term connections with those people. So by artificially enhancing things, that's going to allow us to increase our momentum, so that way we can get what we need done. Yeah. And what it is that we need done is we need to connect with like-minded people that share the same vision, so that way we can bring everyone together with our real network of people that we have, with our real email list of thousands of people that we've generated from other media pages and stuff. That's the real things. We actually have real things going on in the world that bring real revenue and real connects. The Instagram, the social media and stuff, everything, that's just for show. We care about real connections. We care about real people. And we want to make real love, and we want to continue to do that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you realize. It's like, there's a difference. Like, like, I've been on so many tours and stuff like that, and then you see these people that people say fell off, but they can still pack like a 3 to 1,000 venue, person venue, and they're still doing it, And that was one thing. Like, I went on tour with Riff Raff, and then you could see like his core is still engaged with him regardless of what's going on, you know what I mean? And that's like one thing that you learn. It's like the internet can say one thing, but the streets can say like, no, we rock with him. We still rock with him regardless.
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't mind saying what I had to say. It's just, we have real people backing us up, and there's nothing that can really, unless we have some terrible incident with some Andrew Tate shit happen to us, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, we moving with love, man, and we really trying to connect and do real shit. So
I definitely don't judge anybody for those types of business moves. I personally haven't done any of that type of stuff yet, and I don't really plan on doing it. But it's like I understand where it's coming from. If I were to if I were to try to paint a picture of a product, right? Like, an artist as a product at the end of the day, like, it looks better the more followers you have, especially if you have at least, and nowadays you only need about 10% engagement for your shit to even look real. Like, we have almost 10,000 followers on the gram, but we don't get 10,000 likes on our pictures. We get 100 to 500 depending on the post. So it's like 5 to 10%. Like, that's a normal engagement rate nowadays. But I guess, to get off of that now.
Okay.
So it's crazy time.
I want to say one more thing.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, just like the whole you dig what you're saying. It's like, people, how like things are streaming right now. Like, I remember watching Tory Lanez and DJ Academics, and he was talking about how most of the streaming comes from from Spotify playlists, from being playlist added and stuff like that. And then the 20% is just like your organic followers type thing. And then it's the same exact thing. It's like, you know, that you're talking about. It's like the 20%, that's like the real ones that are going to follow you regardless. But then the 80% is just, it's kind of manufactured. Like we put you